No, I was just going to say that I think it's consistent. So it's interesting to bring up the Catholic Church at all. It's consistent with their beliefs, and if they're going to sanctify, life at, I mean, even at the scientific level, which I think a lot of us, even people in the atheist and agnostic communities, if you believe that life begins at conception, it just all makes sense. It's consistent. So at least someone's doing the part of consistency. No.
It's not just Catholics, by the way, it's Christians and all. There's a lot of Christians who are against IVF because of the process in which the IVF is used. It involves the discarding of other embryos. That's the process. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to get
not
the most out of
necessarily.
the
I
embryo.
mean, if there's if you
Yes,
have one
necessarily.
body. No, I mean like if you have two and you get.
The Latina girl, we're no longer dating.
Oh my god. I'm sorry to hear.
It's alright. It's alright.
Did politics finally?
Yeah.
Terry, oh my god.
Can you give me color if it's not too hurtful or whatever? Yeah, I'll give you all the color, of course. So there were a couple issues. The first one was that she didn't want kids. So like long term it was never gonna work out. But then on the other side, like she's very liberal, of course, I'm a Republican. And once Harris became
So wait, Brian, if it was never going to work out, why did we have to live through the whole drama of the relationship for the past year? And you knew that it wasn't going to work out because she couldn't have kids. And now you're dragging us down even more because she still can't have kids or doesn't want to have kids. What's the point, Brian? We don't want to relive the fact that your dick ain't getting sucked today, okay?
Yeah, it's not getting sucked today. But she lied to me. She said that she was interested, and then went back and forth. But
Well, she didn't lie to you. You were fucking her. She gave it up and you had a good time, so just let it go.
What happened when Kamala came up to power? You said that this brought the rose broke the
I was just like shitting on her like no end. Kamala Harris fucking sucks. And my ex was a black girl, black woman, and she believes in that identity politics. So she was like, I don't think I can be with somebody that will vote for Trump and like doesn't like Kamala Harris. And I'm like, she's literally a fucking communist. But like, it doesn't really matter.
Kamala?
Yeah, her name's Kamala. Yeah.
Kamala.
I actually know I'm Indian. The moron can't even pronounce her own fucking name correctly. Alright, so this
Well, why would you pronounce it if it's Kamala? Why would you tell the American public your name is Kamala? It wouldn't.
It would be a mess. Exactly, it would be a mess like unflattered everywhere. Correct.
Thugga is in the parking lot of Pfizer. Thugga, get out of your car and go to work. Don't come here for dopamine feedback loops. You're not retired. You've got a mortgage, a wife, and kids, and a fancy car, and a big ego to fund. Get out of here. Be gone. Go make your Pfizer pharmaceutical dollars, Thugga.
Okay, not me. I was like, man, I literally had zero of those things. Am I a loser?
No, I'm talking to Thugga Biden here.
No car, no mortgage, no girlfriend, just a cat, dude.
Thugga, what's it like being a white person in a biracial body as a propagandist of the Democrat Marxist fascist state?
Sounds like something a Harvard student. You described it perfectly.
So now that we've deconstructed you, Thugga, I mean, just be gone and go to work. Go work on the Mpox vaccine because I need it. Go get that Mpox vaccine for us, please, Thugga. We're going to do the same thing that we do now. We're going to make fun of the clowns. We're going to make fun of you. We're going to make fun of Kamala because you're all just a bunch of clowns. You don't even know it, Thugga, but you're actually the biggest clown on this app.
Okay, just pronounce Kamala's name right.
Winners don't concern themselves with the views of losers, right?
We don't really care if you call yourself a winner. We still think you're a loser. You're a clown, dude.
I don't think. Come on, Adrian. Thugga, whether Kamala wins or loses, I don't think Thugga's a loser.
It is fine.
No, I hate to tell you this, Evital, but Thugga is actually a clown. You're not a clown, Evital. You've actually declowned. Thugga keeps his clown power high. It's true. All rising tides rises all ships. That's fine. But you know, Thug, I just want to reemphasize.
Be on your team without going berserk on each other.
I'm not going berserk. I'm giving Thug the fight that this young man is looking for.
It's gonna be no cost. The tears.
Are you into BDSM? Do you let your wife peg you?
I'm just getting myself a video.
Well, the toilet paper fell out of Nancy Pelosi's pants. She dropped toilet paper on the stage. That's the big news I see. As I see it, I didn't watch any of it. And
You didn't watch Keenan Thompson with the Project 2025 stuff? That was great.
yeah,
That's
the
all. Did you hear
project.
Virtually no Republican in the Senate supports as of today.
Did you
That's
hear
not gonna say, but this is a private room. We all know the score on that.
Eptal, did you hear that about the hack of the Trump campaign? They say Roger Stone was the guy. It was a phishing attack, and Roger Stone was the guy that got. In that,
The Oppo research.
they have the Oppo research and all that stuff. ProPublica has 14 hours of training videos for Project 2025, which the campaign was disseminating internally to campaign people attached to the campaign. They're training videos. I can post them in the chat if you'd like to watch the 14
Yeah, sure.
hours.
I want to train myself on the Project 2025 goals just for myself to be a good person. But, was there a federal abortion ban in anything you saw? Or anything? What's the most outrageous thing you came across with that?
They want to collect they want the federal government to collect data on all miscarriages in the United States and force blue states to comply with the collection of data on miscarriages. And they want them categorized as to whether they're spontaneous abortions, whether it's an abortion due to you using chemotherapeutics, or whether it's an elective abortion. I think that's the most extreme thing that I can imagine. They want like a chief uterus inspector, basically. The
That's
second
like
most.
184.
They want the people who just have miscarriages. They want all that data. And obviously, so this is a big thing that I tell people. You should look at El Salvador, where abortion is actually illegal, and because you can't necessarily tell when somebody's had an elective abortion when they've had a miscarriage, people who have had miscarriages end up in jail from time to time. In El Salvador, absolutely happens. So that's what's gonna happen, right? They also want to ban all stem cell research, embryonic stem cell research.
Looks like I'm looking through it. This is all the Heritage Foundation. So you're saying these Heritage Foundation videos were internally circulated by some people, including Roger Stone? I mean,
They were part of the campaign was sending them to their staffers.
Roger Stone was sending it, or
Yeah, this came from all the. No, I don't know.
Roger Stone's
No, it's not. These aren't email documents, right? They hacked into his email, and then they were able to get like the Gmail documents that are part of the campaign. So this is not like Roger Stone was circulating it. This was on like servers that were for the campaign.
Yeah, I'll check out the videos, but it sounds pretty weak sauce, my man. To be honest.
If you're against Project 2025, why does your campaign have the training videos? That seems weird. If you hack the
It's not the campaign. Is Roger Stone?
No. This is
Project 2025 is so.
campaign website, bro.
Why are only Democrats talking about 2025? I've never heard.
Exactly.
Because Republicans don't want to talk about it because it's very unpopular.
But the elephant.
We talked about it and we said we don't like it.
I really want to hear about the Democratic policy so I can decide if I want to vote for them.
Exactly.
But
Hello.
I haven't heard anything.
You guys,
A
the
lot about
weather in
Trump, though.
Chicago is amazing.
This is joy. All about joy.
Oh my God, Roya, meet me at Luminati's Pizza for dinner. What, Kennedy and Trump are gonna unite and create a power so beautiful and brilliant that it's gonna make Kamala melt like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Little booster, 3% booster.
They're scared. That's why they keep.
No, but you have a so like dick. You have my dick. Get on your knees like a good bitch. Okay, she wants your dick. You gotta suck it, honey. You gotta suck it. Yeah, show us your dick. I don't care if you're gonna suck with it and fuck me. Show us your dick. Are you gonna suck it? Oh, you're gonna show us your dick. Suck it for me. Yes, that big guy from Ireland. Show us your dick. Show us your dick. Can you show us your abs? Can you show us your abs? I don't give a fuck about it. Show us your abs. Nigga, I heard you.
Okay, this is called the Book of the Law. Had the manifestation of Nuit, the unveiling of the company of heaven. Every man and every woman is a star. Every number is infinite. There is no difference. Help me, O warrior lord of Thebes, in my unveiling before the children of men. Be thou had it, my secret center, my heart and my tongue. Behold, it is revealed by Iwas, the minister.
It makes, yeah, I know. But what I'm saying, religion, the Quran is not a religion. The Quran is a way of life. At least the way I see it. So.
Yeah. So you're agreeing with what I was saying, how it's a way of life, right? Not religion.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I would thought.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's too many gods. I mean, there's not one crow on the side.
Wow.
Silence speaks for itself.
I love that Adam genuinely thinks he's what? It's not good? Come on, guys. I was like, what? Is it just me? Did I not understand what he was saying? Everyone was not understanding.
Jesus is your book.
Hi, good morning. I have a question for the Christians in the room. I was wondering if anybody could tell me what the good news of the gospel is in one sentence. Thank you very much.
Tell us the Your Mama joke right now. Give us the Your Mama joke.
If you can't give us your mama joke, you either go back to the audience or you leave the room.
Your mama is so ugly. When she was a little kid and was playing in the sandbox, the cat kept covering her up. Your mama is so fat that when she wears high heels, she strikes oil.
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
Yeah, Brother H, from the beginning of this room, the name is called Let's Chill. So we're not here for any theological debates or anything like that. We're here to have fun and just chill and hang out. So there are plenty of other rooms.
Wait, I'm a little bit confused. I asked you if you could tell me what the gospel is in one sentence, and I think you just told me what it was. So winner, dinner, chicken winner, you won the grand prize! Congratulations!
Wow.
What's going on here? What's going on here?
I think somebody crazy entered the room.
He does this every like he does this. He'll just go around saying one sentence and then what people do.
And you know what? Courtney does this too.
What reminds you? Yep, sure do. Guilty as charged.
Of course, all weirdos would be Courtney's friends.
Sorry about that, guys. I appreciate the allowance on stage. I do bring you weirdos.
I thought it was Vern's friends.
No, Vern's not here, so we can't give Vern these weirdos.
You know, for a while, I thought that Courtney and Kelly were the same person. It turns out they're both just.
I'm sorry, the Lord.
The Lord cut you off at the end.
Just like the lions in the story of Daniel, the Lord shut his mouth.
Honestly, I mean, you know, using profanity, it really does degrade, you know, everything.
Nobody.
No, I'm saying I sometimes I use profanity, but if you can catch yourself before using it, you know, it can save the conversation because profanity is just negative speech, you know, and if you really want to chill, I mean, nobody wants to hear profanity. And I could go into other rooms where there's bang rooms happening, you know, where young women are screaming at each other in the ghetto, and that shit is really toxic for people's psyche. It's really, and to do it this early in the morning, it's going to ruin your whole day.
So are you saying you were going to use a cuss word in a way to describe my friend?
I didn't, I was going to say the B. I was going to use the B word, but I didn't use it.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I told you.
Here goes the B word. Here goes the B word. Be gone.
Be God, be God.
Scotty, Kim said somebody in here got her blocked. She can't go.
We know
Kim know who got her blocked.
who got her blocked, and she knows who has her blocked too. That's it.
So Scotty, she said be the only mod so she could get in.
Yeah, that's what I told her. She's not gonna do it.
Okay, this has been the Adrian Dittman podcast.
Fucking play on common sense. I mean,
I don't understand.
companies are all about liability. So companies only give a shit about they use that word and somebody could get sued for it and they could be responsible for not enforcing it. So they're trying to, and so.
I think South Africans are stupid as fuck. If they allow that shit to happen. And I know they're smart people, so they won't let that happen. I think they gotta step on the shit now. Because if they don't step on the shit now, South Africa is gone. Good. DA get a fucking vote. The same people that are the kids of the people that enslaved them. Oh my god. And the Russian guy, what's the Russian guy? He's proven to say that Africans treat Africa like a graveyard.
You know, you're such a hypocrite, Lonzo. Why don't you just go move to South Africa and do everybody in America a big favor and get lost, loser? Go start your revolution in some other country. Everybody's sick of your negativity. You're just a pessimistic person. You know, go to the gym and vote Trump, fatty, and wash your face. It's probably all oily and disgusting. Brush your teeth and floss your teeth. Your breath probably stinks. Do something with your life. I mean, you know, clean yourself up. Clean yourself up. I can smell you through the phone, bro. You stink. You're a stinker. You're a dirty stinker. You're a dirty stinking rat. That's what you are, Lonzo. You don't even have a full beard. That's called pubic hair beard. Trim it off and then wait till you can grow a real beard. It's disgusting. You look like a Sheikh Kafir. It's foul. You're disgusting. Ugh, you make me sick. You make me want to throw up in my mouth. You make me want to throw up in my mouth.
That's people right now. Yo, PTR Lonzo. Everybody, this is the guy that's speaking this shit right here. Jeez. Look at my PTR. This is this weirdo. That's him. That's him. This is him. This
That's nerve.
Foxy. That's you up there, bro. That's you. You can never say anything.
I still starfish for the first time.
He's a starfish.
Shout out to you.
He's a starfish.
That's you. That's what you're waiting on. That's what you're waiting on. You probably did that for him, like, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to you. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, this is him, guys.
He's a whole white man.
And
That's a whole whitey. That's right.
Have you ever seen the video and the link I put in the chat?
Hold on, let me.
The same thingy.
Oh, yeah. Nah,
I just seen from the video you posted.
I read some of them.
Yeah, I just read all the white ones. You see what they think.
Well, what did they say?
What do you mean what they did? They being white.
No, I don't know. What did they say?
Lonzo posted a link. You guys can just go on the comment.
He's a South African. I can hear a South African from a mile away. Sir, are you South African or are you salty?
No, he's not South African.
Yeah, it's South Africa, man. What do you want?
Yeah, he is. He Lonzo. I'm telling you. He's a South.
Let us speak our mind, man. Speak your mind.
No. I'm not trying to derail. I'm just trying to stay on top.
Yeah,
No, I'm
but
saying
Yeah, I can wait each other.
No, Mr. Zero. MR.
Suat, I want you here, Queen.
Okay.
Alright.
So
What
do you mean?
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks, Lafek.
What up, man?
Hey, Lonzo, do you know what's funny? It was literally just yesterday I was thinking, where is Lonzo? Like, I haven't seen a root from him.
One of the things that they did when they were on this earth separated them from other people, and they were always positioning themselves to be in authority and to dominate. That's why they control the banking system, they control the financial district, they control the gold, they control the real estate. They can look what they're doing now. They're bombing, killing babies. The first time ever I watched TV and saw a child with
of Heritage, who was responsible for Project 2025. He was surreptitiously recorded by a bunch of lefties who pretended to be Republican donors. And in said recording, he said that Trump's disavowal of Project 2025 is just politics and it's not real. And when they get into office, they're going to be implementing all of these plans. And I just put the video in the chat.
Yeah, he publicly
provided to
said
CNN.
Project 2025 is stupid. And then whoever made
So you're saying he's the swampy. He won't say the same thing in private that he said in public.
So this is the guy that drafted it, and he's saying that Trump is just like playing politics when he gets
I
into
like that
office.
you guys are spending so much energy on 25. It's actually a good waste of energy.
But that's all. I provided it in the chat, like what he said.
No,
It's a
I'll
video
check it.
you can watch.
I'm going to check out each of these videos because
And
you know
and he said he doesn't believe in.
We still remember January 6th.
my view is a lot of that stuff is real.
You can't juggle thoughts. You're the
Is January 6th really one of the top issues of the election?
Absolutely. When you want to see how bad the sequel is going to be, you want to see how they.
I'll be right there through the sequel. I'll go right to the road. I'll go right to the road. I won't cross that road this time.
Sure.
But I'll go right to it, David.
So when you go to your favorite restaurant,
like you
have a shitty.
Hey, let me know when you're done filibustering with your chicken
You have a
shit
shitty
ass.
service experience. Is it like how the restaurant treated you at the end?
Excuse me. I'm not understanding your contorted liberal fucking idiotic logic. Can you repeat?
Oh, ad hominem, huh? I I was thinking that January 6th was a significant event.
Go look at the. Hey, go look at any poll in terms of what are the top issues on either side.
Why is J.D. Vance?
It's really not.
Why is J.D. Vance the nominee?
Why did we almost have the Senate? Why do you think the Republicans are close to controlling?
Didn't they want to kill Mike Pence because he didn't do?
Oh, really? Who was the prosecutor for that? For trying to kill Pence? Yeah. Who was charged with that? If that's true.
Hang Mike Pence. Are you telling me you didn't hear it when you were there?
Yeah. No, I didn't hear it. No one was murderous, David. But I mean, you seem to know everything about it. Why weren't anyone charged? Why wasn't anyone charged with insurrection?
I didn't know murderous was part of the tradition.
Why wasn't anyone charged with insurrection? You chicken shit. You'll sit there in your fucking deep state patriots room like a queer, and you will sit there and hang your head in shame about the president. You know,
hanging my head in
guys,
shame.
Ryan, here's a quote from David.
Donald Trump is my president. Yeah,
let me know when you're done. On July 14th. This is a quote. This is a quote from David.
Doesn't seem to matter. You don't know what.
You don't want me to tell them, do you, David?
What you have a quote
of what you said on July 14th? That's much more shameful than anything I did.
Sure. Tell me my quote.
How did he miss? How did he miss? Like a bitch. You were whining about how did he miss on Trump. You fucking bitch. I'd rather do what I did than what you said any day. You and Marvin are scum. He asked for it. These are quotes from you, you stupid bastard.
Show me. Prove it.
You dumb motherfucker. I don't need to prove it. I heard it.
So you exposed yourself.
Prove it. You think I record?
I just say, in terms of the shooting was terrible. And I mean, this is the problem with like going to rallies with Republicans. You can't trust them, right? And this dude, who was a Republican,
He was a Democrat.
Former president. He was a registered Republican.
He donated to Democrats.
And he used the Republican gun of choice, the AR-15.
He hated Trump.
So you cannot trust. Like this is a case of friendly fire. Going after the king. I do not support that, right? And I totally understand why Trump would be scared of his supporters because they are crazy. They're crazy.
The Republican, how the most anti-Republican thing you could do is kill Trump because he's winning in the polls right now, whether or not you guys want to admit it. When that happened, when he got shot, he was against Biden. Way ahead in the polls. He was going to be president. If Biden didn't drop, and you go and you try to kill him, that's
Brian,
the most Democrat thing you do.
No.
Actions speak louder than words, and if you go and you try to kill the Republican nominee, that is the most Democrat thing you could do. Especially after Democrats have spent. Wait, let me finish. I've let you guys speak. Just let me finish, and then you guys can speak before I'm speaking. Especially after Democrats have spent years, telling us that Trump is a threat to democracy, that if he becomes president, everything's going to end. You have this young child, Thomas Crooks, who's like 21, 22. So, for the past 8 years, since he was 13, he's been hearing on the TV how bad of a guy Donald Trump is. And, he's clearly very liberal. He spoke about hating Trump to the other college people.
That's not what people in his school said.
Come on, Thugger, everyone knows about it.
People in his school said he was very conservative.
No, they didn't say that. Blue donation, and you've seen the Gap chats.
Do I need to pull it up?
You've seen the Gap chats by now, and you've seen the Act Blue donation.
What actually happens?
It doesn't matter. If the news actually cared about,
Next, are you going to tell me he was registered Republican?
He was registered.
Yeah, I know. So you're going to hang on that?
Let me finish.
Why? So the news organization has stopped looking into this, and they've already
FBI cracked this dude's phone, and what they found was that.
Do you think they're doing a good job from the FBI?
Wait a minute.
Just to understand your mindset, do you think the FBI is doing a good job or a questionable job?
He was looking up Nancy Pelosi. He was looking up Joe Biden.
Do you think the FBI is doing a good job, though?
Wait. It just so happened that Trump was the closest one to win at the time. So he went for Trump, but he is a Republican.
Okay, can you answer my question? Do you think the FBI is doing a thorough and good job?
Of what? A thorough job of what?
You know what, man? Investigating the shooting.
Oh yeah, I think they're doing a good job. I mean, he's dead, right? We know who did it, but they're doing a great job.
Man, I just wanted to hear how it sounds when you're lying.
They are doing a good job. I mean,
Come on, man.
Melissa McCarthy didn't do a good job at the time, right? But yeah, I mean, that's what happens, right? I mean, some heads are probably going to roll because of it. But yeah, I just think, like you guys always tell us, Republicans have all the guns, right? So it's likely Republicans.
Did you see Clay Higgins' report?
I don't know Clay Higgins.
I would urge you to read it.
You should all note how Thugga is so diaphanous. He goes from being a Republican to a liberal Democrat to being gay to being straight. Thugga must be made of mercury, or at least of cum. I mean, you can hear it in Thugga's voice when it gets real high pitched when he says, "Yeah, the FBI are doing a great job." I mean, Thugga, do you honestly think America is going to have respect for Kamala Harris just because they're told they have respect for Kamala Harris?
Most Americans are going to vote for her.
I mean, I don't disagree. I think she's going to win because the propaganda and the mass communication psyop hypnosis is that big and that powerful, and the Democrats are too big to fail.
I think you're right. Alex Jones is convinced enough idiots to move to Russia. MAGA is not going to be strong enough to win ever again.
Yeah, what is with this shit that I'm seeing of right-wingers moving to Russia? I mean, I fully support it, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not going to tell them this thing. Especially if you're the...
It's like the Black Liberation Movement, aka Liberia, you know? We encourage you to go back to South Africa or Liberia as well.
The type who are interested in moving to Russia, I would almost want to, like, pay their ticket to get them to go.
I've seen videos of Americans living in Russia, and they love it.
I hope they do. They'll be on the front line.
It's a trad wife.
But they're literally working in agriculture, and I don't know how, you know, it's very difficult. It's hard work, but I assume if you go there, you better have some fucking money saved up. Otherwise, welcome to living in a third world country.
They should also, I mean, they'll probably place them on the front line. Which is fine by me as well, so let them fight for Russia if they want to. America will continue to put more heads on foreheads through the Ukrainian army using our gun control weapons as they invade Russia now.
Look, you read a report to me, and I gave you the credit that you read it, except what's in it.
I haven't read the full thing. It's a long.
No, but you know, you probably want the word pieces of it. So you come out and bust it, okay? Let me tell you about a report called the Clay Higgins report, okay? To the Congress. Let me tell you about the worst things in it. I'll give you the TLDR for you and David. And it's pretty disturbing, man. Okay? They cremated the body without it being investigated. What do you think about that, guys?
Obviously, it's a cover-up. It's a state cover-up.
What body? What do you mean, what body? Are you fucking retarded? Whose body?
Basically, Michael Crooks is technically the remnants of 9/11 and all that ash and debris. It's connected. These series of events are connected to a massive conspiracy.
What are you going to say? Is this just the family's decision? Oh well, something like that.
Hi, Marshall. Oh, did everybody know the Republican Party has officially denounced and rebuked Marshall Rankin? He's no longer allowed in the Republican Party.
Did I know that you like to be an ass? Yes, I do. Is that true, Marshall? No, not even a little bit. He just doesn't like me, so that's what he's saying.
No, that's not true. I held the Constitution in my right hand and the Declaration in my left, and we converged on you and rebuked you.
So it doesn't fucking matter. You are not important in any way, shape, or form. What you think of me is irrelevant to what I was asking. So I don't think it has any.
Yeah, I have no reason to make this up. Marshall, you were officially rebuked, denounced, and forever stricken from the GOP.
Bro, you're the dude that ran for election and lost. Like, why should anybody take your political views seriously?
Why should anybody take your political views seriously?
Because I spent the last 10 years doing the work that you didn't think you had to do.
Marshall, I'm glad you're here. Thank you. I was trying to give questions to Thugga and DJ Gadfly, who left. We were talking about reports and what they mean. They were talking about Project 2025, and I answered what I thought about it. Then I asked them what they thought about Clay Higgins' report, and they promptly disappeared from the room. I'm not sure where they went. But Marshall, have you heard about Clay Higgins' report to Congress on the shooter of the 13th of July?
No, but I'd be very interested to read it. Do you think you could send it to me in the back channel?
Yeah, it's in the chat. It's in the chat, my friend.
Okay.
It's alarming. I don't know what you think of Clay Higgins. I didn't know about it before he was sent to.
Marshall, has anyone ever told you that you're passive aggressive?
How about I stop being passive aggressive and just be full on aggressive?
No, it's good to go. Come on, man. Look, there's all the findings here in the report that's continuing to. There's a lot of conspiracy pieces debunked by him too, like the water tower and other things. But there's a lot of problematic parts, like they cremated the shooter's body. What do you think about that? Before it was examined.
What?
Yeah, you heard it right, Brian.
That's crazy.
The link is in the chat. He goes step by step. The media is not really running with this because it's awful. It's awful.
Well, the media doesn't care. They don't care about anything that matters. They just care about like fucking Trump 25. They don't.
But Evital, if you question why they actually cremated a body with a head that exploded, I mean the answer is obvious because they'll say that the corpse was in such a state of decay that there was no, possible means to possibly preserve the body for some type of forensic analysis, what kind of drugs he was on. There's so many things you could answer by doing an examination of that body. So as a physician, what could you discover from the body if you were given the opportunity to do a public forensic analysis and present the evidence in the same way that California forensic analyst, was able to throw elections, make big news because it's big news when that forensic report comes out.
It's a tragedy. And there's a lot of holes in the Secret Service. They covered up the crime scene, wiped up all the blood, Brian, immediately, and 48 hours later.
So it is just like the movie Caligula. It's the Praetorian Guard cleaning the mess up. The Praetorian Guard tried to kill MAGA President Trump, our great orange one, our crayon of crayons.
The other major finding, hold on, it is clearly Praetorian Guard, even for fucking high schoolers. So stop acting like you don't understand what he just said.
No, Marshall has lots of history books. He loves history. Marshall loves history. He's a historian buff, big history guy.
Can you let me cook for just a second, please? So it is clear Praetorian Guard, similar to what they did to JFK. Everyone can see it, hear it, and every term of a long rifle. Here's the other stunner from the report, Marshall, is that the counter sniper who took the shot was not the Secret Service counter sniper. It was local SWAT. It was a hell of a shot from the local police department SWAT team who went running into the line of fire, set up, and then took the shot. It was not one of the Secret Services. They didn't even. So our man from the local police department, true hero, takes the shot, shoots him, and then later on maybe they shot the body or something. That's what it sounds like to me. So yeah, this is a fucked up situation.
Wait, why are you saying that the cop? Why? Because Trump said that the Secret Service sniper took him out, not the cop.
Yeah, but that's not the case. That was just in the fog of it.
No, Trump just recently said that.
I know, but he looks like, they're saying it's Secret Service because he was under the Secret Service auspices, but this was a local cop who took the shot under no direction once he saw the bullets fly.
Well, then that cop should be a national hero, and he should be on Fox News right now.
It's pretty funny business. You're right. There goes Marshall. They can't stand the heat. And Brian, this is what we're into here. We've got the DNC with toilet paper, full crowd, and everyone acting like this is for real. They're going to steal the election.
100%.
I can put two and two together.
So my whole point is, as someone who is generally always positive and optimistic, I'm still going to be positive and optimistic even when Kamala is president. I don't really, it can't rock my boat, but I feel bad for all the sheeple that are completely unaware of the lies that they're being fed. It is the exact same thing as the Barack Hussein Obama Hope and Change dance. It's the same old tune. And if you're not hip to be square, you don't know what's happening in the background, and you're just a fucking slave drone.
Brian, every time they talk about 2025 report, ask them about the Clay Higgins report. And that's in Congress, as opposed to some bullshit pulled off someone's computer by a hacker.
Nobody wants to talk about the Trump assassination attempt, and even Trump, I don't know, something is fishy happening, meaning that Trump is possibly scared or he's not scared. It's so hard to tell what is the truth, but what I am 100.
How did Marshall laugh about the Praetorian Guard comment?
Because he thinks he's a historian. Listen, Marshall has a mental health problem, and I'm not projecting here. He is only a Republican if he gets paid, and he's a Democrat if he gets paid. That guy is looking for his next meth fix.
Oh, come on, man. It's different there. He's friends with the Praetorian Guard.
Marshall is friends with the toads in the river swamp near his house. He's retarded. The guy probably can't walk 4 blocks without falling over.
You're underestimating the situation here. I don't know how to...
Listen, he's not the great-grandson of LBJ, okay? He's Marshall Rankin. He's fucking retarded. He loses where he's at in his mid-sentence. He goes, all right, come back to me. I had my medication this morning. I can't remember what I was talking about. It wouldn't matter if he knows how to tie his shoes or shine his shoes. He's Marshall. He's retarded. Okay, Evital? He's barely literate. The guy knows how to knock on a door. The guy has crust on his lips, Evital, okay? His skin has fucking sores all over it. He's disgusting. He's a fucking frog toad. He's retarded. He hangs out with the federal magistrate from California, Bren, who honestly I don't think is the worst guy in the world. But there are times when Bren can barely even breathe. So you have to realize that, we are all behind a mask on this app, and some of us are dying.
It's a small room, man. Some of us eat good, though. Don't troll and filibuster. You just troll fucking 1 and 2.
I'm not filibustering and I'm not strawmanning. The point is, they tried to take out Trump with Matthew Crooks.
Don't you guys know this guy's affiliated with the Bush family?
Yeah, I know. That's a good point.
You don't think that's noteworthy for why he doesn't want to?
But they look at Marshall. They look at Marshall as they do, Anyways, the point is, maybe you're right, but it is skull and bonesmanship. Then I mean, George Bush is skull and bones.
That's what I'm saying. It's funny he got an opinion the second he said Praetorian Guard, like he couldn't deal with it.
Well, I mean, I am in a fraternity, but I am not in Skull and Bones, but I know Skull and Bonesmen. But they are Skull and Bonesmen not because they went to Yale. They are because they actually took skulls. Like they're scalpers. They kill and they have scalped. And that makes you a bonesman. But just like any bonesman, there's an index of how fucking disgusting you are. And, if you're a low-class piece of shit, and you're a Skull and Bonesman, but you're a high-class intellectual who's not a repulsive vulgarian, you look at the vulgarians and you say, well, your wife's got to deal with you. You got to deal with yourself. And if you're a passive aggressive and your teeth are falling out and you're an idiot and you can't give a speech, no one respects you. And the truth is, no one respects Marshall Rankin or any of these other pseudo fucking political intellectuals on this app. This is a talk therapy, mostly therapeutic app, but it is a drug addiction medical device technology app that everybody's getting off on, no matter where you are in the world. That's my analysis. Like, if you're not looking at this in terms of psychology, you're missing what Clownhouse is talking about. Well, did you ever see that YouTube video, Too Many Cooks? I'll get the link and I'll shut up. It's a very funny video.
Hey, Cardano's here. Cardano's that's it from Doug Biden was really pressing me on Project 2025. There's been a leak. The Roger Stone laptop was the one they got. Whatever, they got into the campaign laptop of some kind. The videos are in the chat. It's pretty interesting. I'm gonna go through them. It looks like internal presidential training academy from the queers at Heritage Foundation.
Presidential training.
Yeah, I understand. Listen, man, I steel man your case here. And I agree. It's a little bit concerning, but it's still Heritage Foundation ink stamped, and there's no green light to go white with this. My counter to Tug is I'm not sure how this reflects on Trump when they distance themselves publicly from the 2025. Bottom line, I don't think it would be too damaging at all, because all the 25 stuff is already baked into the cake, and but it's the way that Thugga can bring up abortion over and over is the effective strategy.
Thugga, let me ask you, what are the top 10 keywords of the Democratic National Convention? Because if you had a heat map of the keywords, you could see what the neurolinguistic programming message is. It's always abortion. It's always racism, police racism, white women pay, LGBTQ, CRT, DEI, unionization, union. I want to form a union for people that want to get out of their union, no matter what the industry is, and call it the free union. Stop paying for your union, which does nothing for you and gives you no legal representation and no help, and join my fucking union for free. For fucking free. So, Thugga, what is the movement all about? I'm in concordance. I think it's about nothing as well.
Hello.
I mean, Mike Moon, I hear your Trump derangement syndrome in other rooms, and it's cringe. And you have something. You have a stick up your ass, and you got.
Mike Moon sees both sides. I've seen him talking.
Oh, I know, but Mike Moon still has sour grapes and a stick up his ass.
Mike Moon made an Indian voice once that irritated me, but it wasn't very funny though.
I mean, Mike, what is it about capitalism and the republic, and republicanism and freedom and liberty that you dislike so much? Why are you semi-socialist?
It's very simple. I am a Republican who does not think that Donald Trump is a Republican. I think he hijacked the party that I voted for my entire life, and I will not change my mind just because a bunch of spineless piece of shit congresspeople are afraid to call out the fact that he's not a real Republican. He divided the party to make it about himself, and
You're still approved though, right, Mike?
and MAGA hijacked the Republican Party. So
Can we still
I'm
count
not
on your
Democrat,
vote though? At least
and I'm not MAGA. I am a Republican, and I don't have a
Okay, but Mike, don't you feel that Trump basically embodies the principles of what a republic means?
No, not at all.
Are you going to vote for Trump? Just go ahead and hold your nose.
No, I am not going to vote for Trump.
So who are you gonna vote for?
I will never vote for Trump. I will penalize the Republican Party for picking Trump as their candidate by voting for their opponent.
Mike, so there's the Mike, I have a quote for you, then I want your reaction, and Thugga as well. Listen, there's a strip club here in Chicago. It's the world famous Admiral Theater, and on the outside in the concrete on the face of the building it says, "The greatest right a government can afford its citizens is the right to be left alone." Larry Flint. So, from that perspective or that reframing of I want the government to leave me alone. I want the government to leave you alone. I want the government to leave everyone alone. And that is the power or the greatest right that a government can give its citizen is leave us alone. No, but I'm reframing it because I think Mike would agree with that sentiment. Do you not agree with that, Mike? He's a Marine. Marines liberate. He's all about maximum freedom.
Yo, do you think he wants 2 votes or 1 vote?
Do you understand that Donald Trump, as a U.S. Marine, I would be a sellout and a complete pussy to vote for somebody who literally talks complete shit about the military.
Why does the majority of your brothers?
The majority of my brothers do not like Trump at all. They're Republicans who don't like Trump. That's the majority of Marines for Trump. He's badmouthed 2 major Marine leaders who are in part of his cabinet. His cabinet. He's a piece of shit toward the military, dude. He's a piece of shit toward the military. He's
But why does the military vote for him most of them?
Because they're Republicans. Because the Republicans who don't think as strongly as I do about it and are willing to sell themselves out will do that. So they're average human beings in the military as well. But that doesn't mean they like him, and that doesn't mean they fucking respect him. Republicans will vote for him, and some of them because it's their only choice, because they can't stomach the alternative. I, on the other hand, will penalize them on purpose because they fucking deserve it for picking him. He's not a Republican.
But that still doesn't.
Your idea, no, but hold on a second. Your idea is to penalize American people by picking the person that's worse for the job because you don't like the person.
I think American people will suffer deeply under both of them, dog, in different ways. The American people will suffer deeply under both of them for completely different reasons, and I will vote against the Republican Party because they made a bad decision to pick him as their candidate, and because he already lost one time and they picked him anyway, and I don't fucking vote for losers.
Thank you for thinking of American vets like myself that actually do care. And I'm an independent, so. But, I mean, the idea that you would vote for Kamala just because you hate Trump that fucking much through the
No, I'm not voting for Kamala because I hate Trump. I'm voting Kamala because the Republican Party is no longer acting on behalf of
you know how retarded that sounds?
Yeah, but listen.
It is not Republican. It is not Republican.
Let me.
He and
I know each other very well. I know exactly
what he is. And eventually, MAGA may die or may take over and completely consume the Republican Party. But right now, it is
You got MAGA derangement syndrome on top of TDS.
losing until it decides to go back to some of its core.
Mike, listen, no one cares who you're going to really vote for. I mean, I could care less if you vote for Kamala. I'd still have a drink with you any day of the week.
It will lose this election as well.
Okay, that's fine. You then put your money where your mouth is. Are you doing anything for Kamala politically?
Yeah.
I mean, just talking, is that what you consider doing things for her?
No.
Well, anyways, my point is, I want to ask you a question. Do you, because if it's a binary option, and it's just Trump versus Kamala, let me ask you, do you think there is a gender attached to the political parties, that the Democrats are the feminine gender and the Republicans are the male gender?
I could see why people would think that, but the reality is that Trump is the least masculine man I've ever seen. So
No, not necessarily Trump. I'm talking the parties. The parties. Do the parties have a gender? That's the question. You bringing Trump into this equation, I'm asking, do the parties have a gender?
That's what I just said. The Republicans think that they're masculine, but they're not.
And
the Democrats are arguably neither masculine nor
I would ask you, Mark, what does it take to be a masculine Republican?
so wait, he said the Democrats don't have a gender. Okay.
That's why they can't figure out what
See,
it is.
Mike, in the Kabbalion, one of the aphorisms or maxims is that basically gender is a significant attribute. So if you think that the Democrats have no gender, you have. I'm just telling you that you are actually, your opinion is your opinion, but your opinion.
I'm not a Democrat, so I don't need to speak kindly of the Democrats.
I'm just saying your opinion is going against what's called universal maxims.
I don't care. Trump is going.
I know, but what I'm trying to tell you is that if your opinions go against universal maxims, your day to day must be so frustrating, and I don't understand why you're your own worst enemy. You exert your energy in such an inefficient way that it's crippling, in my opinion and observation.
You exert a ton of energy in a very effective way as well, dude. So it's definitely the black boy to kill the black.
I know, but then, I can't make that observation if it's not true for me as well. So, what I'm trying to say is the self reflects the self. And that's what's great about this app is you can project and they get immediate feedback to your projection. So what I'm trying to say is this app exists as a fulcrum or a level. It's a perfect stabilization or equalization or equilibration communication technology for the brain, for the environment too.
If you want me to be deadly serious, here's the deal. I do believe that the actions that Trump has engaged in the past, two of them that stand out of my mind as deeply, deeply real, is his refusal to accept losing and his support of January 6th. Those two things that he does demonstrate to me that he is and this is real, this is legitimate 100%. I'm not going to change my mind on it. I don't give a fuck how much, I don't care that Mitch McConnell said one thing a week afterwards and now he says something totally different. I don't give a fuck. I believe it's exactly what I believe the day of January 6th, which is that he represents somebody who is not worthy of holding the position because he refuses to treat it fairly, but not even that. He refuses to give it what's the word? He refused to respect the position, and so because he refuses to respect the position, I get it, but his actions prior makes sense. So he gave it because he's a fucking pussy. And yeah, the point is, the fact that he left his side again, I'm happy he left. It's sad, I'm happy he left, but that doesn't mean he's worthy of a second attempt. There is no lie. He refused to accept the guilty because his boss said so. He's not accepting it to this day. He still hasn't accepted that he lost. I have a sign right down the fucking he won. What in the fuck? He's not accepting it. That's exhausting. It said he has not said he lost yet. A single fucking time they said. It's not me saying it. It's him not saying it. Fucking retard. You goddamn, you're disingenuous piece of shit. You know goddamn well that's acceptable loss. You know goddamn well. So quit thinking it's
What? You've never kicked my ass either. And I refuse to accept the fact that you think you can kick my ass. I don't give a one shit. The point is, you make it to shock you. You made it sound to you. But you have my ass not always present right there. You have to kick my ass. It's not about you. It's not about you. I think that he has to accept this first process. I'm not going to give him a chance. Long story short, he's a fucking loser. He has to accept it.
goddamn Harley
No, I know where Mike lives. He lives like 3 hours. 45 minutes drive to his house right now. I'm never gonna do it. No, but I've known Mike from the past. No, but he told me where he lives. I know what side. Like I know he's a photographer. He talked about his services in Marine Corps. I like Mike on a lot better. I just think that with the whole Trump thing, it's like just a little bit of a gaslight the way they speak about it. And Mike is somebody I actually care for.
6 years ago, Republican Party thought the way. Now it's about 40%. That doesn't mean that it's no longer majority just because they all fucking gave in. I'm not gonna do it. No, that's not what all been said. I'm telling you to fucking crap. They fucking gave in straight up and they're fucking a loser to run for a second time. Fucking
You're a loser for thinking that everyone should consider what you want.
Oh yeah, I'm a loser for that. Not that everybody else does do that too. And other people vote because they don't want people to consider what they want, right? That makes a lot of fucking sense. That is the most retarded thing I've heard today. That's exactly right. You want me to vote because they want other people to consider what they want. That's why they vote. Fucking retard.
But you literally said that you're gonna go against the Republican candidate because he was chosen by the party and you don't like the way that the party behaved. So now you're gonna vote Democratic because you don't like, that all of your important things that people should have been heard were heard.
Yeah, they should be listening to the Republicans that don't agree with them. Yeah, they should.
Moderators, if I may, this is Adrian Dittman, McZad Monsignor. I would like to read some prepared remarks. They're very brief. They will cost you nothing. It will cost you nothing, and it's very painless. However, before I read it, I would actually like to encourage you to listen to what I say and give me real feedback to what I read. It's just a few sentences. It deals with communism and fascism. I think it's very relevant to today's economic and political situation, if I may. It's very brief. Okay. Democracy daughters, ferocious fascism, cackling communism, equally frauds, cavort crazily all over the globe. They are hemming us in. They are abortive births of the child, the new eon of Horus. Liberty stirs once more in the womb of time. Evolution makes its changes by anti-socialistic ways. The abnormal man who foresees the trend of the times and adapts circumstance intelligently is laughed at, persecuted, often destroyed by the herd. But he and his heirs, when the crisis comes, are survivors. Above us today hangs a danger never yet paralleled in history. We suppress the individual in more and more ways. We think in terms of the herd. War no longer kills soldiers. It kills all indiscriminately. Every new measure of the most democratic and autocratic governments is communistic in essence. It is always restriction. We are all treated as imbecile children. Dora, the shop acts, the motoring laws, Sunday suffocation, the censorship. They won't trust us to cross the roads at will. Fascism is like communism, and dishonest into the bargain. The dictators suppress all art, literature, theater, music, news that does not meet their requirements. Yet the world only moves by the light of genius. The herd will be destroyed in mass. The establishment of the law of Thelema is the only way to preserve individual liberty and to assure the future of the race. In the words of the famous paradox of the Comte de Phoenix, the absolute rule of the state shall be a function of the absolute liberty of each individual will. All men and women are invited to cooperate with the Master Therion in this great work. What did you think? Think about it. Think about that. Think about that. All right, what's your reaction? What are your thoughts on what you just heard? Oh,
How do you lock it though?
oh motherfucker. He's not even listening. Monsignor, did you hear it? Did you really miss it?
Yeah, I heard the tone of it, but I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, are you working? Okay, vote Trump and go to the gym.
I wish strategy like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to be said. If the world goes after hold on, let me get this cuckold up here real quick. Adrian, what do you want, bro?
Hey everybody, this is Adrian Dittman. I am not Elon Musk. Many people confuse me with Elon Musk.
Shut the fuck up. All right, so yeah, so yeah. Yeah, so basically what's gonna happen is if America and the West start to like target Russia, because they want to break Russia up. They want that to be, you know, like
This just a thing to everybody remind me that I'm light skinned?
we have.
No, you saw me, I was brown.
We have.
That's crazy. I don't mean true. I was
brown. I was brown.
Every black person is brown.
I'm thinking that's your thing, but you're that's saying you're very light skinned.
My full summer color didn't come in, so that just wasn't fair. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Summer color's crazy.
Assad, what's up? Are you playing music? Hello?
The vast majority of white Americans, I mean 99%, bear no burden of responsibility for that. And that's a hard concept for some black Americans to deal with.
It has to be imaginary huddle because it's taught. You wouldn't have to deal with it if your parents didn't teach you to be traumatized by it.
Well, I just mean,
Man, that's not true, dog. I saw an ad on Instagram to get an abortion at Planned Parenthood, and I went to the DNC.
Hey Zach, why don't you say something smart and just
yeah, from what I've seen, like it's not as bad as it's in the Middle East, but yeah, there are, like as of currently, like today, there was a riot in our constitutional. There were student riots due to the fact that the current Indonesian president, there were like disputes because they felt that he bypassed an important law when he allowed his son to become vice president.
Holy Spirit comes in, you start making noises, or is this so that we can speak the word to people that don't speak our language?
Wait, I'm sorry, Wesley. No, I'm going to apologize because I've been up all night talking to this, and I'm super out of it. Were you asking me a question about the gifts?
Yeah. I just
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No problem. You're good. I was just wondering, never mind. It's not that important, and I can bring this up later. But Ty was talking about someone talking over his head using weird vernacular. I was in a room a second ago. The topic of speaking in tongues came up, and I just wanted a tiny bit of clarification on what we believe that means and that it fails.
Okay, so like, I'm kind of agnostic about it. I tend to think that speaking in tongues I'm inclined to think it was speaking different languages, like just having a miraculous acquisition of exotic languages.
It's called glossolalia.
Okay, but if not, like if it's some kind of like special way of interacting with God, via some kind of special speech or something. I don't know. I'm not inclined to take that view, but I also wouldn't be. It's not going to hurt my theology if that's true.
I've seen it in the South. I went to college in Charleston, and I had a biology professor who ran a Christian business men's networking group, and they did spoken tongue, but they didn't do interpretate. I don't know. I've seen the YouTube videos. So they usually have somebody who does the tongue, and then they have somebody who does the interpretation. But to me, it seemed like gibberish, and meaning that Christ is not the Lord of confusion, but of clarity. So I viewed it more as like a Western tradition of meditation, meaning it's like saying Om 1,000 times.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I'm a continuationist on the gifts, so I'd say that much, but I don't really know what that gift is. There's lots of
It's about Pentecost. It's about the power or the spirit on your lips and your tongue, meaning that if you want.
Okay. Sorry, Andrew. I gotta stop you there, right? So like that is like known to be false, right? Like it's possible that you can argue that the gift of tongues is not like merely a miraculous acquisition of a foreign language or something like that. But what we know for sure is that like the meaning of Pentecost isn't some kind of like mere empowerment of the Spirit where people got magic powers to do things. Like that's not the point of Pentecost is twofold. First of all, like the appearance of fire over people's heads, the appearance of people like having heads burning a flame.
I mean, I think.
It's a reference to God's wrath. It's like
Wow.
God's wrathful presence. I shouldn't say wrathful. God's presence, His holy presence, is passing over those people, and they are not being burned by His wrath. Right? That's the idea. The idea is that the Spirit of God is indwelling these people, and yet they are not burned to death by sin. Right? It's pointing to the justification that has been done for them. So that the Spirit's indwelling in them does not kill them. It doesn't burn them to death. They are aflame, but they are not dying.
Okay.
The other thing is like about the loosening of the tongues. That's clearly a reversal of Genesis 11, right? At one point, in the early chapters of Genesis, right, they go to make the Tower of Babel. And the reason it's called Babel, right, or at least this is how we get the word, as far as I understand, right, is God set all these people so that their languages were split up. They got all completely spread off in different directions. God used, as a judgment, God diverted people from each other. He caused schism and scattered people across the world with these different languages, right? In Acts, you're seeing the reversal of that the one Spirit that Jesus has sent brings people back together. People of all different kinds of nations and colors and backgrounds. They all come together and can speak as one. They can communicate with each other. That is eschatological symbolism. Drawing back from the Tower of Babel to say, like, God is built, where God God destroyed a temple that was made to reach a false idol, now in every person the Spirit is building a temple that will one day be in the image of Christ in glory.
Right. I agree with all that. So let me ask you a different category of question in terms of language. So everything you just said was spoken in English. English. My point about bringing up this different content or different category of question is the transmission of the message through English. I mean, I've read has been prophesized as being like the universal language. So if you were to say that to a person in China who only speaks Mandarin or Cantonese and only uses the symbol of that Chinese language, everything you just said would have meant nothing to them. But with Google Translate, you can see the Chinese characters. Now, in terms of language translation, if you look at the Cantonese characters, it's you don't know what all that is, and it's so small. Like, how the fuck do they, excuse my language, how do they use those characters? But my point is, how do we get the English vernacular out of the characters so you can transmit the good news to the people in China? How can you get this divine intelligence and wisdom to the 1.4 billion people in China living in a censorship bubble?
That's a really good question. I think that so if you're just asking like how do Christians like share the gospel with people who only speak Chinese? I think the answer is like we have missionaries over there. I used to attend a church that had missionaries over there in China, and it's a somewhat dangerous mission for those people, right? Because the Chinese government is not very friendly to Christians.
Well, I'm saying on YouTube, if we could somehow do the translation where as English speakers we could speak Cantonese or Mandarin perfectly because it gives us the way to say it in English.
The way you're saying it is throwing me off a little bit, but I think I might understand what you're saying. Right? So it's almost like you would have like an AI device.
Meaning that I can read French. I can read French as an English speaker because it's the French language is in English characters, and you can, play up your French. But every Englishman can read French.
I don't know that that's really true, right? Like, so an Englishman can recognize
They can't pronunciate. You can't pronunciate as an Englishman, but you can still read French because it's written in English.
No. Okay, now I see what you're saying, right? So it's true that French like shares most, if not all, of an alphabet with the English language, but it doesn't follow that you can like read it, right? You're not.
No, obviously you can't understand it, but you can read it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, right? You can definitely recognize the letters, and you can even maybe get an idea, if a poor one, but nevertheless an idea, what it might sound like. Yeah, I agree with that.
So I have books on Hebrew where they give you the English and the Hebrew, but they also give you a way to read the Hebrew in English, meaning that it gives you the phonetics, I guess, or the semantics. And so you can read, but without understanding, but you can still say it because you can pronunciate it based on the English.
I see what you're saying. You're talking about a transliteration. That's what that's called.
Yeah.
When you.
So what I'm saying is if you're Christian and you want to penetrate into communist censorship bubbles, you can do that through transliteration and YouTube. But I'm lazy. I haven't even Googled, is there a transliteration product? I'm sure there's a software that does the transliteration.
I don't have anything against that. So I think that's fine. I do think it's probably more practical to just send missionaries that speak Chinese and read Chinese and can write in Chinese. And then
You can't go to Russia. You can't go to Russia and do that. They will arrest you and you will go to jail.
Oh, I promise you, there are Christian churches in Russia that are breaking that rule and getting away with it. I promise you.
Well, I'm saying it's dangerous because the Russian government could still view you as a spy. I mean, I would never go to Russia, but I would never go to China and fuck around and find out. That's just me. If I go there, I'm going as a tourist. I'm not going there to try to propagandize there. If I propagandize there, I would do it here in America safely.
You gotta stop dropping that bomb, dude. So, are you a Christian? Do you claim to be a Christian?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. And you're concerned about getting the message across the language barrier to other people? That's what you're concerned about?
Yeah, I'm concerned about that because the censorship is the concern, and you know, as a cryptographer, you have to find a way to crack the codex or the Enigma machine, which is censorship, meaning that no one can penetrate.
I don't know why you would say no one can penetrate the language barrier when we have people. I mean, I don't even know.
No, it's a censorship. It's censorship.
Well, hang on, let me finish what I'm saying. I understand there's censorship in these places like China, but you have, it's well known that one of the biggest underground churches is in China. They've received the gospel message, and God has enlightened them to the truth of it. You know, truth transcends language. So we're only ever speaking in, you know, really.
I mean, can I comment? I mean, do I need to take notes?
I mean, I don't know what your attitude's for.
My attitude is that you're making all or nothing statements, and all or nothing statements is not the truth.
Bro, what? That is an all or nothing statement. Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Well, my point is, I mean, see, this is why if I did actually have a pen and paper, because like my mind automatically reverses some of the things you're saying, and then I say, aha, that's the truth. It's not I'm trying to have a bad attitude or be aggressive.
Just keep in mind, it's Brother Zen. How are you, Zen?
I'm very good. Adrian Dittman is the nom de plume of Elon Musk, and I'm a big believer in freedom of speech because if you can't present bad ideas, you can't get to good ideas. And it takes good men to readjust bad men. Good men were created to adjust bad men. That's the responsibility of good men.
Amen. Have you readjusted?
I am constantly readjusting, as are you. Everyone is readjusting all the time.
Are you done doing that really, extremely obnoxious troll that you do?
Barack Hussein Obama at the Democratic National Convention was saying that there's trolls that use cell phones, and I hope that he was referring to me because I am opposed to homosexual faggots who do fucking meth with faggots in Gurnee, Illinois, and then become the president of the United States of America.
Adrian, I gotta tell you, man, I don't believe you're a Christian at all. I think you're lying about it. So, I think you need to drop the pretense, man. We're pretty aware. We're pretty aware when an atheist pretends to be a Christian.
Yeah, especially when they start saying, well, never mind. Peace be upon you, Adrian.
That came out of
Yeah, you can't beat it. He is a full-time troll. Now, this is actually the first time in a while. I had about an hour-long conversation with him one time, and he has quite a knowledge base, but unfortunately, he's obsessed with coming in with these he has different profiles. Like he'll say something like this, I don't know, what is it, the therapist or something like that. I don't know. He's got multiple different profiles, and he'll come in and he'll talk in this really not, hey guys, it's just super annoying.
Oh, is he, what's it?
Picture
from Family Guy?
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. I think I know what you're talking about. But it's hard to mimic his voice. But he comes in and he usually, he's just. Yeah, maybe something like that. But then he just says ridiculous stuff, and
yeah, I mean, he's just all over the map. And then he told us that he was making a movie about us. He's got multiple websites. If you look at his profile here, it says adriandittman.com. You go to that, it says he's Elon Musk. Yeah, so he's pretty bizarre. I don't know what his ultimate motives are, but he's been around since I've been on the app, and he just comes in with, he's probably got 10 different profiles as far as I can tell, something like that. And yeah, this is one of the few times.
I didn't think for even 10 seconds the guy was a Christian. And when he said absolutely, I'm like, yeah, this guy's lying. I mean, there's a way that atheists talk that just has like a certain signature, I guess you could say, that it's really easy to detect. It's just easy to detect. They don't talk like Christians at all. So, and you're around them all the time, Andrew, and I don't know how you do it. It makes me wonder about you, man. It truly does, because of the language that they use and such. Well, I mean, they're so blasphemous. Doesn't blasphemy bother you?
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's not like I don't think that God needs people to defend him.
Sweeter when it's fine. I've got the strangest feeling. This isn't our first time around.
I don't like it. I don't like it, but I mean, if you're gonna contend with people on an even playing field, then I think you need to permit people to speak with some degree of latitude there. And, you know, I mean, we're going to have some decorum to some degree. People can't just start insulting people without that being called out at some point. But, you know, I mean, if people think that God is a sky daddy or the flying spaghetti monster, I mean, you know, I either think that they are just honestly deceived.
So,
are you trolling now, MJ? MJ, what are you doing? Oh, he's probably playing with his baby and doesn't realize he's hot micing. All right.
Is MJ an atheist?
No, he's a Christian, and he's. I mean, yeah, he's a Muslim. Sorry. But yeah, he's playing with his kids right now.
What do you think about Romans 1, where it says pretty clearly that all men have been given enough knowledge to know that there's a supreme being who is the creator of all things? Do you agree with that interpretation of the text?
Well, I mean, I have mixed feelings about it. I don't know that I think it's a universal at all times across the board. All men know that God exists. I don't know that that's what's being expressed.
It's saying that men have been imparted a amount of knowledge to where they have no excuse. Where one day they're going to say, you know, on the day of judgment, be able to say, "Oh, I just didn't know that you existed." Or that would not be a valid excuse.
Yeah, verse 20 and 21, right there. You know the Greek term is gnoskos there, gnoska, Romans 1:21. What does gnoska mean?
What does it mean, Matt?
What's that? Romans 1:21.
I said, what does it mean?
Knowledge. Means to know.
Yeah.
In the U.S. has very little correlation to a mini countrywide phenomena that can only be tied to one religion.
I'm saying worldwide, that's a problem. That needs to stop.
It has
Yeah, but AB, the problem is where, if you can identify, where do people marry young people, like underage girls?
Unfortunately, many Middle Eastern countries, it happens everywhere. For someone,
Yeah, but can you see like a common thread among all those that marry underage?
no, I don't see a common thread. I'm looking at statistics right now. But the point is that
So explain to me. You say in the United States, you don't see like where it's happening. Who is marrying young children?
I'm literally looking at statistics now. There's 300,000 minors.
Marriages?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Hold on.
Marriages.
300,000 children are illegally married in the United States?
Okay, so the point what I'm trying to say, Daniel, is that
Under Redstone.
point is that this happens everywhere and it should be condemned.
No, can you repeat the number? I can't hear you.
I'm saying that
Diego. Yes.
You know, it's
Hold on,
interesting because
hold on. I just asked you a question. Hold on. I gave you the statistics. Can you repeat the statistics?
yeah. So 300,000 minors under the age of 18